Hey guys, it's Vanessa with Up and Growing, and we're going to be making a super sweet s'mores. And I'm going to be starting off with this styrofoam block from the Dollar Tree. It's 2.9 by 3.9 by 3.9 inches. I cut it into 3 sections. My graham cracker part is a little thinner, and then I wanted a chunky marshmallow. And I'm just evening out those edges. Your cuts don't have to be perfect. We can compensate once we start with our clay. So to mix my graham cracker color, I am using the lighter brown Bose with some white, just about equal parts. And then I'm just going to roll that out. I do like to leave my clay on the thicker side, especially when I'm covering the styrofoam. So I'm going to put my super glue down. And I want to make sure there's no air. So you can see the way I am laying my clay down. I go around to make sure that my sides are all burped out. If you close that off and glue it and there's some air in it, it's going to bubble up and it's not going to dry nice. And then I'm just going to run a bead of super glue right at the edges of my styrofoam and then start closing it off. You do not have to cover this entire piece of styrofoam. I'm going to remove my excess. And I want everything nice and smooth for when my layers are attached. I don't have any bulky clay. So I'm going to use the palm of my hand and start smoothing it out once I'm closing it. And you can see right here, I'm going to start smoothing it so my clay is nice and flat. I want to give it some texture, so I'm just going to use this chippy brush. I am pretty aggressive with it because when our foam clay dries, it does shrink up and you will lose some of that detail texture that we're putting in our clay. And then I want to make my 2 graham crackers, so I'm just using a straight edge ruler. And then I'm going to be using my fancy Dollar Tree tool for my little holes in my cracker. And then of course we need 2. And then I like to prop that up overnight on the styrofoam so everything dries the same and even. So you can cover your marshmallow 2 ways. I usually like to roll that out like I just did and then just do a strip around the styrofoam, but I have to roll this out pretty long and I would have been out of frame. So I'm just going to cover the top of the marshmallow piece like I did with the graham cracker. Again, you want to burp that clay. You want to make sure there's no air in there before you close it off. Same thing, I'm going to prop it up and let it dry. So it's been about 24 hours since it's been drying. I'm going to attach mine using the brown whipped glue. I do have some of this in my Etsy shop. If you guys just want to run some glue to attach it and then go in between with some puffy paint, you can do that, or you can use clay. You want to cut more styrofoam. It's going to be pretty chunky with more styrofoam. I just am obsessed with the whip glue. I love how it oozed out. I'm not even adding sprinkles to this design because I just love how that chocolate melted right out of there. And this is also going to be a gluing agent. Running that skewer right through those styrofoam, adding my lollipop, it's going to be nice and secure. You guys know I like my insurance. And then again, I'm running another dowel to attach my gingerbread. And I always like my gingerbread on a s'mores or chocolate chip cookie designs to sit on some chocolate. So I am just giving it a little bit more glue on her bottom. I'm obsessed. I love this design. I hope I've inspired you guys. Grab that styrofoam from the Dollar Tree.